And I truly believe it's the prophetic in us. It's not something that's just crazy bizarre. There's a reason why this happens. And I believe that it's literally the Holy Spirit trying to reveal visions to us in our dreams. One thing is for sure, stories have been passed down for generations. And I realize stories are the main way that we connect with other people. Either it's a story of our own, a story that someone else has told us. And I realize that, especially during this time of season, I've been wanting to tell stories that maybe get people on edge or that pique people's interests because there's something a little bit bizarre about them. Either that they're spooky or that it's just something non-explainable. And one thing that happened to me, I would say last year, that was very hard to explain once it happened to me. I was kind of tripping out because I didn't understand it completely, but it was just this feeling very similar to deja vu, but it was not deja vu at all. But now that I know what it actually was, I can explain to you with full confidence so you guys can get some insight about the subject. So, precognitive dreaming. Okay, let's unravel this a little bit because when I throw this word out there to either my friends or people I tell this about, they kind of don't understand. What are you talking about? Precognitive dreaming is a dream that you have before an event happens. I kind of touched on this in my last video. You guys can go check that out right here. But it's basically a phenomenon where people have had dreams, let's say, about the Eiffel Tower before it ever fell down. And it wasn't just one person who came out saying this, but it was multiple, like handfuls of people who came out saying that they dreamt about the Twin Towers, like something bad happening to them. I remember a while back, I would say this was last year, I was watching a podcast. I'll link it here as well in my video description so you guys can watch it if you're interested. But I remember just listening and realizing that, wait, I feel like I might have had dreams like this before, but have no way of correlating it from real life to my dream. It was hard to decipher what it was. Not until I would say a few months later, I had that experience where I had a dream where I had all these very similar feelings that I did the next day. And let me explain further because right now it sounds very vague, but this is where it gets crazy. And for some context before I go into the dream, I was at a friend's house and the following day I was going to go to a party. I was a little bit nervous about the party, but I was like, you know what, let me just sleep it off. Tomorrow will be fine. But in that dream, I had such a vivid and lucid dream about being on some sort of road trip. I was driving with my family and we stopped at some rest stop. And these rest stops are sometimes really disgusting and gross in there. But the thing was, that's not what I was worried about. I was more worried about what was inside of my mouth. It felt like I had so many items, like little knickknacks inside of my mouth that I couldn't get out, like just stuck inside of my mouth. I was so confused because I was trying to ask my brother, hey, where's the restroom? But he couldn't understand me. He was like, I don't know what you're saying. Just very confused. Then I remember like stumbling upon the bathroom finally, and I was like, okay, I'm in here. But because there was other women in there, I was getting nervous because I was like, well, what if they try to ask me a question? Like, I won't know what to say because they won't understand me. Like, I'm so anxious. I remember feeling this way of not being able to talk to anybody, but also this feeling of being misunderstood once I opened my mouth, people not understanding. So it was so weird. In this dream, I remember eventually by the end of the dream, I took everything out of my mouth. I felt so good. And I remember waking up, some time passed, go to the party. At this party, it was a little bit weird. I didn't want to go in the first place, but there was 3 girls, 2 of my friends, and the rest guys, maybe like 11 guys, which was crazy. I did not want to go, but my friend forced me to go. The whole time, I remember just talking with my friends. I did not talk to anybody else, and I was just so uncomfortable. And to keep in mind, at this time, I was single. I wasn't with my fiance yet, so it was just a time where guys just wanted to mingle, but I was not wanting to talk to any of them. And this feeling of anxiety of not knowing how to talk to anybody, and my mouth feeling like so dry and like, oh my gosh, like I don't want people to talk to me because I can't even open my mouth. I felt so trapped in this feeling of anxiety in my mouth specifically. And so because I felt this way, I was like, I need to go to the bathroom. I just need to like put Listerine in my mouth or something to wash it out. But that only made it worse. So during this time at the party, when I was trying to figure out what I should do, I realized that like I just need a rest. I need some time away from all the guys. And once I came out of the bathroom, all of the guys went to go get in and out or something. And so it was just us girls. And I was like, oh, I can breathe. I can like be myself. I don't have to worry about guys trying to prey on me or whatever. I came to the conclusion during this time of having some peace and quiet and some alone time with my friends, it hit me all at once. And I realized the dream that I had the night before of having all these things in my mouth and then finally being able to put them out was in this moment right now, talking to my friends without any guys there. And I was so relieved. But at the same time, I was baffled. Like, there's no way I just had this experience. Because not too long ago, I had watched this video about precognitive dreams. Yet I had one. So whether you believe this or not, my experience in the dream was so similar to my lived experience. So it made me question, am I able to experience things in my dreams before they even happen? I understand that dreams hold such a powerful place in our subconscious, in a place where time does not exist, but yet everything is singular, everything has already happened. Later down the road, up until this day, I've had dreams very similar to one like this, but there's no story I can really tell and why this happened, but I just know from the dreams that I had and the next day experiencing almost very similarly related emotions or feelings, I realized this happens quite frequently, but it only happens when you're really paying attention to it. If you have very vivid dreams or lucid dreams or dreaming all the time, you most likely have had one of these experiences and not even realized it. But if you've had an experience like this, I'd love to know. Share it in the comments because I find this so fascinating. But it's just so crazy how dreams literally can predict the future, can tell you the future. And I truly believe it's the prophetic in us. It's not something that's just crazy bizarre. There's a reason why this happens. And I believe that it's literally the Holy Spirit trying to reveal visions to us in our dreams. And whether or not we are paying attention, it's there. So I advise you, the next time you have a dream that's very vivid, keep note of it. That's all I have for today, but I hope you guys enjoy this video. Bye for now.